In the late 1990s, all of the motor manufacturing assembly operations in New Zealand closed down. Since then, New Zealand has relied solely on the importation of all of its vehicle stock. Some of these imported vehicles are new, but around 100,000 a year are used. Controlling the safety and legality of all imported vehicles is vital. And with hundreds of used vehicles arriving every week, fluent and reliable processes are essential. The IMVIA is a business association that represents the imported motor vehicle industry. It has worked alongside the New Zealand government for the past 25 years to help develop one of the most robust and efficient systems in the world for monitoring and controlling of the importation of used vehicles. This process ensures the safety, emissions, ownership and compliance standards of every used vehicle that enters the country. Japan is by far New Zealand's biggest source of used vehicles, accounting for 95% of the market. So for these vehicles, it makes sense that the New Zealand certification process begins in Japan. The journey starts at the auctions, where almost all vehicles are purchased. The auction process relies on a detailed car grading system where independent inspectors examine and grade every auctioned vehicle for defects, which are then noted on the auction sheet. Bidders buy vehicles unseen, and so the accuracy of the grading inspection is critical to the trust of buyers. The live auctions take place electronically, with the average auction lasting only a matter of seconds. Some auction houses have up to 20,000 vehicles at a time awaiting auction. After the auction, a car bound for New Zealand must go to an approved pre-shipping inspection centre. These centres are located at ports throughout Japan and are approved and regularly audited by the New Zealand Transport Agency and the Ministry for Primary Industries. Both are government agencies. The inspections are an essential part of the entry certification procedure and ensure that the system in Japan is as robust as in New Zealand itself. There are two inspections: the Biosecurity Inspection overseen by New Zealand's Ministry of Primary Industries and a structural screening inspection overseen by the New Zealand Transport Agency. The biosecurity check includes a full bio-clean of the car both internally and externally. A structural inspection is completed at the same time. This includes recording the vehicle's identity, confirming it is right-hand drive, recording the odometer reading and any water, structural damage or rust. Any damage is noted, photographed and uploaded directly onto the NZTA's database. An NZTA sticker is placed on the vehicle when it has completed its structural inspection and also to indicate if there is any structural damage. A biosecurity sticker is also applied and vehicles must have both inspection stickers before they are released for export. Whilst the pre-shipping inspections are carried out, the vehicle is deregistered with the Japanese transport authorities. This requires surrender of the ownership papers, checking of title and ownership, and the issue of an export certificate, which is required before the vehicle is permitted to leave the country. On arrival in New Zealand, the vehicle first clears customs and then continues its rigorous inspection pathway with the entry certification, commonly known as compliance. Compliance ensures that every vehicle that enters New Zealand adheres to its safety and environmental standards. Entry certification is carried out by an inspector from a government-appointed Transport Service Delivery Agent. The entry certification procedure has two elements: a physical inspection of the vehicle and verification of the documentation to ensure it complies with all relevant manufacturing standards and specifications. As Japan does not use the ISO VIN system for identifying vehicles, a 17-character VIN number is generated for each vehicle. A VIN plate is embossed and attached to each car and also etched by sandblasting it into the rear windscreen. The physical inspection involves partial disassembly and thorough inspection of the vehicle. In practical terms, the inspector examines the vehicle, checking for rust, previous structural repairs or structural damage. The brakes are disassembled and the rotors, brake drums and friction materials are measured before being tested, and the exhaust emissions are tested. Seatbelt and anchorages are tested to ensure they are within safe tolerance of the vehicle manufacturer's OEM specifications. If necessary, minor repairs will be carried out and the vehicle rechecked to ensure roadworthiness before any certification can be issued. If any structural repairs are required, such as bodywork or rust repairs, these must be independently certified by an NZTA-appointed repair certifier. Repair certifiers are completely independent of the compliance shops, a separation that helps to reinforce the integrity and independence of the importation process. It is at this stage, once a vehicle has completed all of these checks, that it is finally certified for entry and able to be registered for use on the road. The vehicle importation industry in New Zealand is worth an estimated $50 million a year and employs thousands of highly trained people from the inspectors through to the repair mechanics. The process has been streamlined and perfected over the years to ensure not only that it is robust and efficient, but also that the New Zealand public can have confidence in the safety of the cars they drive.